Hello, my beautiful beardy friends. We're in this really echoey room, which is my bathroom. So let's talk through the morning beard routine. So you've just seen me wash and condition my beard. So that's with beard shampoo and beard conditioner. And also I have trimmed up the sides. So the one thing I find that even a couple days growth makes my cheeks and my beard look really untidy. So I get a single blade safety razor and I trim in these bits and also tidy up underneath. Just something really simple, but you'll notice I did this. And I find that allows me to get into this like little cheek crevice. So yeah, feel free to contort your face as you need to. So now we've got to get on with the drying and the conditioning and the styling. Okay, first thing is a towel dry. So I'll do that. I'm not too crazy on the towel dry, but just enough to kind of stop the dripping. And then it's the good old-fashioned blow dryer. Okay, so I've seen a number of people do different things. I like to use high heat for this initial pass with a straight comb, and I'm just working down the beard and using the direction of the air to also reinforce that direction. So here I go, it's going to be loud. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm getting the sort of thick comb, the wide comb spacing, and I'm getting right down to the skin. Once that's all done, I kind of find that underneath here needs a little bit more work. It's still a little bit damp. So I just blow upwards and just kind of comb down a little bit, but I don't comb too much. Okay, so now that it's broadly dry, I take the heat out of the hair on the cold setting of the hair dryer and also just very low. So it's about halfway and I just use the cold setting. Okay, so as I'm using this brush, I'm not going deep. I'm just letting it kind of brush over the very top of the hairs. And so that means then, yeah, I just find if I push too hard, it kind of pulls the hairs out again. So yeah, I just go very lightly and I work the beard into the shape that I want it. I've always had problem areas here and here where it kind of bushes out a bit, but as my beard gets longer, I'm hoping that that will kind of like drag down and out. So yeah, that's where I spend a lot of time, just on my chin area, trying to get that the way I want it. And you know, importantly, I'm always looking at lines, the lines of my beard. Are there any escaping? Are there any hairs escaping like the edges of the beard? And I kind of like spend a bit of time just working them in with the flat brush. But yeah, overall, that's kind of the end of the blow drying and the cooling down and the shaping. Now it's the product stage. And so 2 steps. The first step is beard oil. I don't know where I've put that. Okay, so I make my own beard oil from jojoba oil and argan oil and a little bit of essential oils. I've just worked out that it's super cheap. So yeah, I just put like 2 or 3 drops. So if your beard's longer, you'll need much more, but I just use a little bit and I work it into the surface of the beard and underneath and then down again. And so that just sort of conditions the beard. Beard oil, whenever I speak to people, before I was growing a beard, I used to speak to people and say, oh, what's your tricks? And they always used to say, buy beard oil. So there we are, that's nice now. And the final thing, so maybe I'll grab the fine tooth and I'll just work the very top layer of the beard. Once again, looking for those lines to make sure that everything's kind of in the right position. if that makes sense. I don't want anything escaping. And then I also make my own beard balm from beeswax, shea butter, coconut oil, jojoba oil, argan oil, and essential oils. I sound like such a hipster. I never meant to sound that hipster, but that's exactly what I sound like. So yeah, a little bit of beard balm. It's a cold day in Adelaide, so I'll need a little bit of force to get in, but just a little tiny bit. For a beard this long, I haven't found that I need too much, but I warm up the stuff between my hands, and then I just once again place it on the surface of the beard, not forgetting about the mustache, up underneath, on top, and once again, just either backing up that with a little bit of a superficial brush on the very surface, with either the small tooth comb or with a beard brush. So once again, just working the very, very top layer of the hairs, not going too deep. And there we have it. There is my morning beard routine. And if I'm not talking it through, this beard routine probably only takes about 5 minutes. And I don't always use beard balm. If I'm going out, I tend to use it, but if not, I don't tend to bother with it. Beard oil is more than enough to condition the beard. So there's my morning routine. It probably takes me about 2 to 5 minutes if I'm not like talking about it. And sometimes I use beard oil, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I use beard wax, sometimes I don't. Okay, so here are 3 tips that I think will really help you. Okay, don't wash your beard every day. I find for a beard at my length, washing every 2 to 3 days is good. It starts to get really frizzy and dry if I overwash. So sometimes I just wet the beard thoroughly, give it a good kind of scratch, get down to the skin. Yeah, that seems to be what I do most days in the shower. Okay, so this one is kind of embarrassing, but I remember when I first started using beard oil and someone in my co-working space said, "Oh, is your beard wet?" Like, it was, and I was like, no, I put on beard oil ages ago. Now, there was 2 issues. First of all, I was using far too much. But secondly, I was making my own beard oil and I was only using jojoba oil. Now, jojoba oil doesn't get absorbed well by the hair, but it gets absorbed well by the skin. And so the argan oil is actually incredibly good at being absorbed by the hair, and that's why it's found in conditioners and beard oils, but I completely left that out. So now I make a 50-50 mix of those things and I don't have a wet looking beard, but I also don't overuse it. Okay, so the hairdryer aspect is a bit of a contentious issue in the beard growing community. So I like to use a really hot hairdryer initially to get out all of the kind of moisture, but also I find that by combing down and holding it there just for a second, it kind of shapes up the beard and makes it hold a lot better. And then I flip to a cold setting to kind of lock that into place. But I still find after the cold setting, some hairs kind of come away from the face. So yeah, that can be a little bit tricky. But what I recommend you do is get a few opportunities. But what I recommend you do is get a few options online and see what works best for you. Sometimes I find that I just do a hot one and then walk away. And sometimes I've tried cold only. And I don't know if I see a significant difference, but I definitely prefer hot as I can stand, and then cold. Does it work? Well, it works for me. Find out what works for you just by testing a load of different kind of hair drying recipes. All right then, thanks so much. Let me know in the comments what you do for your beard routine, and I'll be doing more videos like this. Maybe I'll be doing a trim up one next because I'm getting to the end. So it's been 2 weeks since my last trim, which I do all myself. So I think that'll be my next video. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you do and what you value in your beard routine. All right, if you are not already a subscriber, please remember to subscribe. I really appreciate your support, and I shall see you in the next video.